I guess I'll start. I'm Tara Stuckless. I'm the program officer in math and stats. So I'm kind of the person if you're, have questions about math programs or trouble getting into a section or, just any questions related to undergraduate programs in math and stats, you might come visit me. So I have a background in mathematics. I did pure math here at the university, and so I know the program pretty well. And you can find me on the third floor in the Henrietta Harvey building. I am taking in-person visits as long as everyone's wearing a mask and we stay 6 feet apart is all fine. But I'm also doing WebEx appointments if you ever want to chat just remotely is great. And I'm available also by telephone and email.
Hello, my name is Deirdra, and I'm the president of the Math Stat Society this year. I was previously the science rep for the last 2 years, and it is my 5th year of a double degree in applied math and French. I hopefully will be on campus a lot of the time in the Math Stat Society room, which is right next to one of the help centers. I don't know if this has changed, but hopefully it's still the same. Okay, perfect. And I'm so excited for everyone to be here and to actually get back on campus.
Perfect. Thanks for the introduction, guys. And if you have a presentation you'd like to share, you can go ahead and do that.
Oh yeah, I don't have a power like a slideshow or anything. I'm just going to talk about some things.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. So I'll jump in, go ahead. I was just going to talk a bit about our programs, the resources we have available for students, why math and stats are good disciplines to consider. And then I don't know if we want to do some interactive questions at that point, or if we, Deirdra can take it from there and talk more about these aspects from the undergrad student society perspective. So math and stats, we are a department in the Faculty of Science. We offer 3 major programs, pure math, applied math, and statistics. Sometimes I get asked, well, one of the common questions I get is what's the difference between pure math and applied math? Really, it's an artificial separation. It's just we wanted to offer 2 different focused majors, and while there's some history to sort of having those names of pure and applied, today they're kind of artificial. Our pure math program is focused more on saying, okay, math is this big, huge discipline with lots of different subfields. Let's give students a taste of various areas within mathematics that they might decide to, study further. So we expose you to abstract algebra and topology and set theory and complex analysis and, lots of different things, different sort of traditional areas in mathematics. And so you end up with sort of the goal at the end is to have kind of a broad perspective of the field of mathematics. The applied program is more focused on, what types of mathematics are particularly relevant for describing the real world and studying the real world. So there's a bit more of a numerical applied bent to it. One of the culminating courses in that program is a course on mathematical modeling. So how would you, model, water flow around icebergs or spread of disease, or, so it's more of a practical orientation of using mathematics to solve real world problems. But that's not to say that pure math isn't used that way also. Like the pure math topics we solve also, can be applied. So the separation is kind of artificial. So if you're interested in mathematics, once you get to your second year courses, you take a course called Math 2320 Discrete Mathematics. You'd also take the third calculus analysis type course, Math 2000. And then based on your experience with those, if you're not sure which direction you want to go in, we talk about, what aspects of those 2 courses you liked to, and then I could coach you from there as to what you might be more, you have more affinity for, the pure or the applied. And then the third major program that we offer, of course, is statistics. I'm not a statistician myself. you know, it's a whole separate area of study. So I would, if you wanted to know more about the statistics programs, I'd point you to our Deputy Head Statistics, Dr. Yilmaz, and you could make an appointment with her to talk about statistics. But statistics is hugely relevant in today's world. A lot of work, a lot of, you know, developing, you know, frontiers of the workforce, like some of the cool jobs that you might get exposed to, are dealing with big sets of numbers, right? Like that's, you know, everything's about data now. And statistics is a key part of data science. If you want to understand, you know, on a big scale, what's going on in the world, you got to use statistics. So that's, you know, I would, I consider all three of our major programs to be quite relevant in today's world. And then the other thing I'd like to say about our programs is that, you know, perhaps your passion isn't with the mathematics itself. Maybe you're really passionate about chemistry or biology or earth science or physics. You know, if you want your passion to carry you further into those fields, and you're thinking down the road, maybe grad school, you know, eventually any science is, you know, to study it at a higher level, you're going to hit a point where you need mathematics. Like, math is the language of science. So it's not a bad idea, even if you're not interested in math per se, but another science, to consider adding a minor in mathematics to your science. That way, when you get further down the road and you reach a point where, oh shoot, I can't study this without, you know, differential equations, or without vector calculus, or without, you know, some statistics, it'll be easier for you to pick up what you need to do that if you have a minor. And a minor is just 8 courses. 2 can be at the first year level. You need at least 2 at the 3rd year or above. So most students do 2 first year, 4 second year, 2 third year. And any combination of mathematics and statistics can be applied there to satisfy the minor. So that's kind of a big overview of our programs. Ellie, do you want to pause for questions about programs, or do you want me to just keep plowing through?
Yeah, you can go ahead and keep talking. In our other sessions, you know, whenever questions pop up, we'll kind of just go through them then.
Okay.
But if students do have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. If you're more comfortable with turning on your mic, you also can do that. It's really what your comfort level is.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, that's a sort of a rundown of our programs. Another thing, so Ellie, these are mostly first year, like new students, is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people, especially if you're in science, you're going to have to be doing math courses. I wanted to say a few brief words about sort of, you know, how to be successful in your math course. Especially where, you know, we're doing mostly remote lecture delivery now because of the COVID restrictions. It can be a little bit, you know, there's unique challenges in that format. You know, the primary one being, it's easy to forget it, or to ignore it, or to put it off. You know, it takes that extra effort. Like, if you know, if you have a class time where you have to be there at a certain time, that kind of is a catalyst to get you there and keeps you on top of your lectures. It's a little bit too easy sometimes to put off watching the video when you're just at home and you can kind of do it anytime during the day. So not procrastinating is key. You can't cram high-level mathematics. You know, your brain can only take so much at a time and needs time to process and digest the more abstract concepts. So, you know, do yourself a favor, set yourself a time, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or, you know, however your schedule works. You know, it is flexible, but you got to set yourself a time, and you've got to keep on top of the lectures and keep pushing forward through the material. If you save it and try to cram it for the term test, you're screwed. You do not want to do that. Another useful thing is, you know, profs are providing a lot of content digitally. So you might get like a copy of course notes already typed out for you. One of the things that's nice to do now, you know, personally, I found it very useful writing out the notes. The prof, when I was, you know, I'm old, so when I was a student, it was just chalkboard. We had to copy the notes down, keep up with the prof. You know, if you weren't fast enough and he erased it, well, you didn't get it. You had to find a friend, right? So personally, I found that activity of using a pencil to write these things on paper somehow helped it get into your brain. Now, maybe that's just because I'm from a different time. I'm not sure that that's going to work the same, you know, for younger people who are growing up in a, you know, different world. But, you know, try it. Maybe it'll work for you. Another thing new students don't often realize is how useful the textbook can be. Sometimes you see the textbook is like, why did I have to buy this? You know, the prof hardly referred to it. The prof is assuming that as he goes through topics, you're looking through that textbook, right? So he's picked that book, or she's picked that book because it matches the course that they're teaching. So whatever topics you're learning in the video lectures or the notes that the prof is providing, you should be able to find a matching section in the textbook. And one of the most useful parts in a first year course is the examples. So each section, if you're learning about the product rule in Math 1000, if you go to the product rule section in your textbook, you'll find lots of worked examples written out for you that you can sort of look through. That's really useful. And some profs even just assume you're doing that without telling you that you should be doing it. So sometimes those examples even show up on your tests, and like it's meant to be an easy gimme question, but if you haven't looked at the book, maybe you haven't seen that example. So use the textbook. The other thing is some of our courses they're using things like WebWork and WebAssign, these online practice tools. If your prof sets it up in a way that you can just, they use it for assignments, so you might have to go in and do some problems online for an assignment each week. But if they have it set up that you can do extra practice, that's another great tool, because you get that instant feedback as soon as you do a question and submit it. It's telling you if it's right or wrong, and you know right away if you have a misunderstanding that you need to clear up. So that's also a useful tool. The final thing I'll say about succeeding in your math course is don't be afraid to ask questions. It can be really intimidating sometimes when you come into university and you always feel like you're the only one who doesn't get what's going on here. Like, you're trying to understand something from a lecture, or, you think an assignment question doesn't make sense, and it feels like you're the only one that doesn't get it because you don't see other people asking questions. That's not true. Generally, nobody gets it, right? Like, you're probably one of, half the class who are thinking exactly the same thing. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You can spend your, 4 hours banging your head against the book trying to figure out, and it might have just been a really simple thing, and 2 words from your prof might clear it up. So take, the prof is there to help you, right? So don't be afraid to ask questions. Generally, they like it when students ask questions, even if the response, different profs have different levels of sort of, cozy friendliness, like if you feel like, oh, I think I upset that person, maybe I won't ask a question again. No. They love it when you ask questions. They may not sort of, be, your best friend once you ask the question. Like, different people interact differently, right? So don't let that put you off. Ask questions. Okay. So that's my few tips on, how to approach your math course. We've talked about sort of the programs the department offers. The last thing that I'd like to get into before I let Deirdra say say her thing, the resources available in the department for students doing math courses. We have help centers. So we break the help center into sort of 2 units. One handles the calculus stream, 1090, 1000, 1001. So the first year calculus stream. And that help center is over in the chemistry building. It's on the first floor. There's a lab over there. So if you want help with 1090, 1000, or 1001, just go there. Then there's another help center over in the mathematics building, or Henrietta Harvey building on the 3rd floor. We will be facilitating some in-person tutoring. How many people can be in the help centers at a time is obviously going to depend on COVID restrictions. If we get increased numbers of cases, the university might go up to a higher threat level, might have to reduce the number of people allowed in there. But if you really feel you need that one-on-one in-person interaction to get help, it can be available. And you can, be strategic too. Like, right before an assignment is due, you get a whole bunch of people trying to get into the help center. All right. So don't wait till the last minute. Like, start your assignment a bit early, then it should be no problem being able to get into the help center to get some, one-on-one in-person help. There's also going to be an online help center, obviously, because, we need to be able to help a lot of students, not just those that can fit into these rooms with the COVID regulations. So if you go to our website, mun.ca/math, go to the help center link. It's in the quick links on the front page of our webpage. There'll be information there posted about how to access the online help centers, and they use the WebEx platform and they have, some of them have Wacom tablets or iPads or whatever, so they can more easily write mathematics with you. And we're trying to improve how that interaction works to make it, we don't want people just using keyboards to type mathematics back and forth. It's not going to work well that way. So yeah, you'll be able to get help online at either of the help center locations. The one in the Henrietta Harvey building is for Math 2000 and 2050. So most of you probably aren't there yet, but some of you could be doing 2050 depending on the math you did in high school. So yeah, that would be over in the math building. What other resources? Again, from our webpage, if you go to mun.ca/math, undergraduates, look for final exams under undergraduates. There's a paragraph there about access to sample final exams. So some of you, if you've accessed that before, you'll still be in that bright space. But if you haven't accessed it before, there's a link there that you can click on so that you get that bright space added to your list of online courses. And so it's just math and stat, old final exams, sample final exams, I think it's called. So there'll be like at least 3 Math 1000 exams in there, 3 1090s, 3001s. And it's just old exams you can look through to get a sense of, how long is those are all 2-hour exams. So depending on, how much time your prof sets for their exam, it might be a bit shorter or longer than that. Yeah, so take a look. There's solutions there for all the problems as well. That's another resource for you. Help centers, sample exams. Most anything that students will need access to from our department, we try to put on the web page. So for example, for first and second year classes, there are a thing called supplementary exams. So say you do your course, you had a decent mark going into your final exam, but you have a really crappy day. And if you come out and you just fail that course, if you're within a certain range, like just 5 points off passing from 50, and you were doing well going into it, so you're passing on your term work, we do a rewrite. You can apply for a supplementary exam. So notes about that should be on your day one handout that your prof provides you with. And then the application for that is on our website. So, if you're looking to, how can I apply to be a marker for the department? I did really well in my first year courses. So next year, maybe, you want to try to mark Math 1090. There's the application to be a marker is on there. If you are sick on your final exam, and you can't, you're just too sick to write your exam and you need to apply for a deferral, the application for that is on our website. Yeah, so check the website. If you can't find something there, reach out to me if there's any questions about anything related to your undergrad math courses. And I think that's a very quick summary of our programs, a few tips, and the resources we have available for you guys. So I'm happy to take questions. If you want to type anything in the chat, please do. Yeah, I guess Deirdra, maybe I'll pass it off to you so you can talk about the undergrad society.
I will just step in for a second. A quick note on the help centers Tara was talking about. If you guys are planning on, I'm sure a lot of you are doing either Math 1090, 1000. We are doing tours tomorrow and on Sunday, and both help centers are part of our tour locations. So you get a little sneak peek of what they are like and where to find them before your classes actually start. Also, some frequently asked questions we've been getting from other sessions, I think that would be important to note for the students who are here, is how exactly do they go about declaring a math major? When is that deadline? And what are the prereqs in order to get admission into the major?
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate that. So our major is not competitive. We kind of allow you, if you feel like, yeah, math, I'm really passionate about math. I want to do a math major. We want to see that you have most of your first year requirements done. So technically you need two first year maths, 2 of 2 other sciences, and an English and then another English or critical reading and writing course. If you have most of those complete, like say you didn't get your critical reading and writing done yet, we're a bit flexible. Like we can still approve the major, knowing that you're just going to pick that course up sometime down the road in your 4 years. So as long as you got your 2 maths done, ideally 2 of 2 other sciences. If you're missing one that you're planning on picking up soon, you know, kind of feel free to get in contact with me, especially if your first year math marks are really strong. We can be flexible there as well. There's no particular deadline. We accept majors year round. We recommend that you declare your major in your second semester as you're still completing the last first year requirements, just because then you get on our radar, and any messaging that's going out to all our majors, you'll get on those lists and you'll know about things ahead of time. Certainly by the end of your 3rd semester, you want to have your major declared, because that's when you start having to make decisions about specifically which courses you should be taking to not get behind in your program. So yeah, in your 2nd semester, you can declare the major. You know, you don't have to have those 2nd term courses complete. We'll sign them. We can sign you in pending, as you complete those, that's no problem. And then if not in the 2nd semester, then by the end of your 3rd semester. And just email me, tstuckless@mon.ca, matthewgrad@mon.ca, either one is fine, with the program declaration form that you find on the registrar's website.
Awesome, thank you so much. And is there a minimum average you need to have in the combined math courses in order to get accepted?
Technically, no. But if you contact me and you've got, 50 and a 55, say, in your 1001, I'm going to ask you, okay, well, what are you thinking about? What about math? Are you passionate about, let's talk about these D's, or, the D and the C, because usually a math major is going to have pretty solid grades in those first year courses. The courses do get more difficult as you go up, as in, I'm sure, any discipline. If you've worked really hard at it and just scraped through the first year courses, you're probably going to get stuck on the 2nd year courses, right? So, you need to be smart and play to your strengths sometimes too, right? But I mean, if you've got solid B's, there are students certainly that start there in the first year. The first year calculus courses are I think a little bit more relevant to the applied math program. Sometimes students will do the first year calculus, and if there's something about calculus that you don't really take to, there's other aspects in the pure math program that don't have numbers in them at all. Like there's other subfields of mathematics that are very different from calculus, and sometimes a student finds their strength in one of those courses. So yeah, we don't strictly have a minimum, but if your math marks aren't decent, we'd have a conversation about that.
Perfect, thank you so much. So if there's no other questions from students, I can't think of any other frequently asked questions other than those.
I should say one more thing about the help centers. The help centers are coordinated by Mr. Lee Herman. He's the help center coordinator. So you'll find his email address on our website as well. He also works in the help centers and has an office down by the 2nd year help center in the Henrietta Harvey building. So, certainly he's a resource that you can go to as well.
Awesome. So we can definitely pass it on to Deirdra now to speak a little bit about, student life, societies. So yeah, you can go ahead.
Thank you. I don't have a ton to say, just because a lot of the societies don't exactly know what this semester is going to look like. But basically from previous years, because you'll be at MUN for more than 1 year, so hopefully we'll return to some level of normal. From previous years, the Society has organized multiple types of events. There have been clothing orders in the past, and we're basically just the go-to for, trying to create a little bit more community within the Math Stats department. I know that we've struggled with that in the past, but we're really hoping to change that around a bit this year. Events that we've done in the past have included mixers. We've had bowling nights. We've also done bus crawls in the past. And we've done, I think that there's probably been fundraisers. I haven't been here for one, but this year we have created a Discord, so hopefully that helps a little bit. We've been a little bit active on there. I'm assuming it's going to pick up as we get further into the semester. We also have an Instagram and a Facebook page, and any events that we're going to be having, including some first year, or sorry, not first year, some second year, I believe it is. I think it's open to all students now, but the Science Society nights, which are trivia nights, there's a movie night, and I believe there's now a hike, and those will be on September 8th for the movie night, September 9th for trivia night, and the hike is on the Saturday after that. I don't remember what day that is. We're going to be posting about that. We're going to try and have a little, I believe, trivia or Kahoot night of our own. We're still looking into that just because we don't know the exact health and safety requirements. But we're hoping sort of as the semester picks up, as everyone gets fully vaccinated, that we're going to have a couple more events, and hopefully we'll do some online stuff as well. With the Discord, it is I think there's at least 100 people on there, so it is picking up in popularity. And I know a lot of other societies have had a lot of success with virtual events and stuff. Oh my gosh, what else was I gonna say? Just for success with your degree in general, I honestly, like, I can't overstate the importance of the help centers. They literally save your life. I know that they are specifically for some courses, but if they're not busy and you show up with a question, people will still help you, even if it's not the course that's offered at the help center, as long as they've done the course. I remember I worked in the help centers from summer 2019 until last winter semester, and I used to work there sometimes, and then a person came in for my course with a question, and I just sat down and listened because I was like, okay, I have no clue what's going on with this assignment, so I should probably listen to this. It's really, really helpful to go to the math help centers. In the mornings, I found they're a lot less busy, and obviously not the day of the assignment. Another thing that's really, really helpful for any math stats degree is doing way more practice questions than you ever thought you could possibly do. A lot of people will just do the assignments and the questions that are assigned. That might be enough to pass the course, but you're not going to get a mark that you're happy with until you're doing, I usually recommend at least an hour a day of practice questions. I know that that sounds like a little bit overkill, but you can take days off here and there. But it really, really helps because just exposing yourself to the material constantly, and doing practice questions without looking at a direct example, especially because I find that people convince themselves that they know what they're doing when they're just, oh, where you can find the schedule of events. So I actually don't know where you would find that schedule. Let
I
me see
just
if I can
want to
find it.
jump here.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the general science events like the trivia, movie night, and the hiking, really, if you're in any Facebook society group, they will be posted there. They're gonna be posted on Instagram. So really, if you're a first year or second year student, you will be able to like see the posters and stuff. They're gonna be posted really anywhere. I already know the posters are going around for them, so that's where you can find like the general science one. I'm not entirely sure with the math ones though.
Yeah, so for math specifically, if you join the Facebook page, the Instagram, or the Discord, we will probably be posting them everywhere. I'm not exactly sure if there is a schedule for these. I think it's just random posters. So here, I'll just put in the chat. I'll do that after, but I'll start it so that I remember to do it. I'll put in the chat the dates of those. Okay, was there anything else I was going to say? Basically just stop by the society room. If you look up MUN Math Stats Undergrad Society, there's a little page on the website that's for us that'll tell you all the sort of information about us. It's a very small room, so I'm pretty sure COVID restrictions are going to keep it pretty limited, but we're also a small society, so hopefully that won't interfere too much with us being able to get to know everyone. Uh, yeah, that's all I have for now.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I also will say that if you come to the tours on Saturday or Sunday, while we're showing you the help centers in the math building, you will be able to see the Math and Stats Society room because it is right next to it. So we can't go inside, but you'll be able to see where it is, which can be helpful. A question I do have for you, Deirdra, is do the society, like from the society room, do students offer any like tutoring or anything along those lines to help students?
So I would say less from the society room, but more so on the Facebook page. We do have an updated list of tutors. We just updated it at the beginning of summer. And also it is fairly easy to find math tutors and stats tutors just because they're in all of the Facebook groups. Another Facebook group I would recommend that you join is the MUN course review and advice because you can find group chats there, you can find tutors there, but also be very careful because literally anyone can be a tutor. So maybe just look them up in the group just to see, who's out there. But yeah, all of the ones that are on our Facebook page are the ones that we've looked at and been like, yeah, we're going to add this to our Facebook page because we trust them. And one of them is actually our treasurer. So
Amazing. Thank you for that. So yeah, there's no other questions from students. I will just say that there's a lot of helpful advice you guys should really take in. I think it's super important to consider joining societies to meet people who are on the same degree path as yourself. Definitely keep in mind what Tara and Deirdra were saying about keeping up on your assignments. Don't do them the night before. Do those practice questions because all of that is going to lead you to success if you're considering a math or stats degree. If you guys have any questions, our two speakers here are great contacts, which is why they are speakers. So I don't know if you guys want to throw in your email in case there's any questions after. Perfect. And I know sometimes we don't get questions right away on the WebEx, but if you guys have any questions after, feel free to, email them or message us on the MUN Society, not the MUN Society, the MUN Science Orientation Instagram, and we can direct you to who that question may be best suited for. So I want to thank our two speakers for just taking a quick time out of their busy schedules for speaking to us about math. It was definitely super helpful. And if there's no questions from students, I'll go ahead and stop recording, and that'll be the end of our math session. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Elia. If there's any questions at all, quite happy to chat with students anytime. Sometimes my email gets a bit flooded, so if you get back an auto response saying it's a few days response time, pick up the phone and call me. When the email gets flooded, phone is the fastest way to get to me.
Perfect.
yeah, thank you so much for organizing this. It was great.
So Lou just has a question there. Could you write down the Facebook group's name? I guess that's just for the math society.
I'll send it in chat 1 second.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend joining those. Lots of helpful information you can find in those Facebook group chats.
Should also say too, about the programs, in addition, we have the 3 majors and also the minor, but you can do, and probably students have already been told about this, you can do joint majors in the Faculty of Science. So math, you can do a joint major with math and most disciplines, either pure math and another science or applied math and another science. And all of those programs are outlined in the university calendar. And if you're interested in doing a joint with 2 subjects that there is no official program in the calendar, you can ask about that. Sometimes you can get a tailored program where we just do a consultation with both departments and figure out, okay, well, what would make sense to put these together. So that's possible too.
Yeah. Another question I've noticed some students in other sessions have been asking, and Deirdra is a perfect example of this, is can I do an arts minor if I'm doing a science major? The answer is absolutely yes. I mean, Deirdra, you're doing an applied math and a French, or you're doing a joint actually.
I'm doing 2 degrees. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically what they told me was just fulfill the requirements for both, and some things will count for a double.
Yeah, so never worry about if you have, a science major and you want to complete a minor in arts. You can do absolutely anything as long as you get the courses done, you're all good to go. So no other questions. Thanks everyone for joining today. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.